All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 62. Anna.
Yeah, Anna. Not Nina. Anna is back.
But she understands everything.
Right, but Nina gets it. She has the memories and everything. She can save Tenma.
And she's going to Frankfurt.
Tenma
is. Which means we're not going to focus her at all this episode.
Right, nope.
And she's in travel time. Transit, yes.
But we could potentially focus on Lung. We could focus on Ava. We could focus on Tenma actually killing the disciple. Maybe, what if Anna showed up and saved Ava? That would be crazy. The two blondes that are of completely opposite personalities.
Wait. Would that make this show finally pass the Bechdel test? No. Lotta and Nina talked a lot before in previous stuff there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
But there were a lot of characters brought up in the last episode. Gillen, Carl, Lot, Reichwein, Dieter. Jeez, like so many people. Even Vertiman and stuff like that. So,
that's right.
So now that we're starting to roll, I would say, with all the characters moving in the plot lines and stuff, I'm curious to see how they're going to converge things specifically with the, I would say, the main cast.
Right, the more action-oriented focuses of the conflict.
Yes, exactly. So, guys, Monster. We're barreling towards the end. So without further ado, let's get into it. You know, it's not going on necessarily at the Red Rose Mansion, but they are making,
Yep.
Dang.
So is Tenma gonna kill all of them?
No, I think he's just aware that they're leaving.
The baby turns around and is like, What are you doing here?
Dang, no, he's following them. Okay. Well,
yeah.
They knew you were here. Oh, Tenma. Go, buddy. Go.
No way.
Oh, dang.
Did that seriously just happen?
Oh.
No way. They're really bringing back all the characters.
No. New people, Jacob.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I knew what you were thinking, but no. It's amazing how they basically just saved him from the cops, you know? Local dentist. Milan Collage. Oh. Oh, dang.
Gotcha.
Oh.
フランクフルトのトルコ人街だ。いや、トルコ人街だったと言うべきかな。
Oh, because of the fires.
再開発とやらでそこら中取り壊しだ。
バヒールってカフェももうないのですか？
もうとっくにない。あんた知ってんのかい？この辺り。
え
え。今日はベトナム料理だ。ムインが作った。
Oh.
フォーガーとチャーゾートム。
Wow.
That looks so good.
遠慮なく食べてくれ。
美味しい。
チェコ料理はあまりいただけないな。
あれはミランの料理が下手だからよ。
悪かったな。
みんな変わる変わる故郷の料理を作ってるのよ。
Wow.
いろんな国の味が楽しめる。
Oh, it totally is.
日
Oh.
本の料理か。
そうだ。今度作っておくれよ。
Oh.
楽しみだわ。
親子丼なんかどうかな。ええ。ライスの上にタレと卵を絡めた鶏肉を乗せて。
なんでそれが親子丼なんだ。
鶏が親で卵が子供。
それで親子丼？
あ、どうしたのテンマ？
And show his eyes because he's he's just realizing how warm this is. And, and such a wonderful such a fun dining table. Oh. Please let these people be okay by the end of the episode. Oh.
ペトル、チャペック、銃。 ペトルチャペックの行動を追ったレポート。
もともと警察は俺のために張り込んでたのさ。
What?
俺はペトルチャペックを殺す。
Oh,
He's gonna kill
dang.
him.
Oh, dang.
ああ、ダメだ。ミランは紙飛行機作るの上手だよ。
I'm really good at making paper airplanes too.
飛んでいくんだから。
そうか。
ミランはいつもこう言うんだ。
今にあの屋根なんかよりずっと遠くへ行くぞ。トルコに行ってベトナムに行ってチェコにも行く。
Awesome.
みんなの故郷をみんなで見て回ろう。俺はペトル・チャペックを殺す。
なぜミランさん、あなたがそんなことを。
Yeah,
その
why?
Yeah,
男
why
は
would you want to kill him?
ペトル・チャペックという男は悪魔だ。ここ
Whoa.
フランクフルトに住み着いたチャペックはドイツ語の教師として授業を始めた。彼の授業に出ていた子供が次々に
What? What?
Okay.
極端な暴力性を見せ始め、俺はその事件の首謀者と言われた少年が収容された施設に面会に行ったよ。その少年はその夜施設内で自殺した。
Jeez.
俺の
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
チャペックはそんな
god.
騒ぎの中消えるようにこの町を出てった。フランクフルトの闇の組織を従え極右グループと手を結んでいた。そしてこの
Whoa.
町のトルコ人やその他の外国人たちの排斥を始めた。
Okay.
1996年のトルコ人街焼き討ち事件だ。この町の人間は自警団を作り連中に対抗しようとした。わずか3ヶ月
No way.
次々とおかしな死に方をした。
Holy crap.
その死んだ5人というのは。
スレイマンの息子トゥンの父親、ムインの夫、
Oh
ムス
my
タファの
god.
息子、そしてシュメルの父親。
Jeez.
crap.
All the people at the table. Oh, they were murdered. Yeah.
Yeah.
ペトル・チャペックに。
Oh,
あんたが
sound
なぜ
design
チャペックをやっていたのかは知らない。チャペックを殺すのは
will be
俺
me.
だ。
Dang.
Wow.
Whoa.
今度のはなかなか良さそうだ。
頑張ったって無理なものは
No,
無理
those.
なのさ。
It's the problem, Tenma, is the wingspan is even. You have to curve
みん
it.
なで旅行なんてできるわけないってこと。
Oh.
さあできた。今度こそ飛ぶぞ。
それ。ほらね。あ、やった飛んでる。
ミランさんみたいに屋根の向こうまでは無理かな。でもなんとか飛んでいる。
Yep, yep, yep. We need to talk.
俺の銃はどこだ。
Oh.
チャペックを撃つチャンスが来た。これから行く。
そんなことさせられない。
Uh-oh. That's.
あなたに銃を渡すことは。
See, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
これはあんたのコートの中にあった銃だ。今日ほどチャペックを狙えるチャンスはない。
やめてくださいミランさん。今復讐しても死んだ人間は帰らない。
あんたにそんなこと言われる筋合いはない。
In a way.
Yeah, he really
Milan's
doesn't.
kind of right.
俺とあ
Yeah.
んたは同じなんだよ。
Yep.
あんたと俺のやろうとしてることは
Very
一緒だ。
much.
俺とペトル・チャペックは同居の幼馴染だ。俺があの男をこの国に呼んだん
Oh.
だ。
He's like, this is my burden. He's like, this is my burden. I brought him here.
言っちゃいけないんだぜ。
でもさ、知ってるか？国境の向こうは素晴らしいところらしいよ。
本当かよ、
Oh,
ペトル。誰が言
dang.
ったんだ？
グレゴールおじさんだ。
あの人アル中だよ。
Wow.
に乗った。
Nice.
うまいぞミラン。
飛んでく飛んでく。
俺たちはチェコスロバキアとオーストリア国境近くの
Wow.
Holy crap.
チェコスロバキア共産党体制が崩壊した時、彼の亡命を手助けしたのは俺だ。
Wow. So he's like, it's my burden to bear, you know? Same
この俺だ。
same thing as Tenma, yeah.
Yep.
お前手先が器用だったもんな。
お前みたいな世渡りの器用さも身につけたいよ。
確かにソ連が入ってきた後も今の地位にいられるのは世渡りのうまさだったのかもしれない。西側にも行けたしさ。
向こう側はどんなだろうって。
何もなかった。この国は間違っている。だが向こうの国も正しいわけじゃない。
Dang.
実は私の能力を買ってくれた人物がいる。
Oh
もう
crap.
今の地位なんかどうでもいいと思える
Yeah.
Dang.
全く新しいものを生み出す人なんだ。
The end of the world.
Yep, here it is. He's just gonna drop it so
恐ろしい
casually.
ものかもしれないよ。
That's so chilling.
止めても無駄だ。俺はあいつを殺す。俺があの男をこの国に連れてきたから。
You know why this is really good to have? Because this is reminding us about the conflict that's been had since the beginning of the show. Can Tenma really do it?
Right.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Yep, good. The rippling effect. Oh.
あんただろ。
Yep.
ドクターテンマ。あんたと俺は同じだ。
That music prior to the high-pitched, violin.
ありがとう。
Oh.
俺があんたの立場だったら、
I would have done the same.
やっぱり止められないと思うよ。
Oh, dang, in this public area of people. Wow.
美味しい。
Oh, the okayu, the okayudan? Oyakodon, oyakodon.
ミラー遅いわね。もうすぐ帰ると思うんだけど。
Oh, right as she leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
ミラーも早く帰ってくればいいのに。
Yeah.
Anna, okay. Oh, and she sees him.
あの男、赤いバラの屋敷の、
Mm-hmm.
あの、
彼に隠し事をしちゃダメだよ。
All right.
Okay.
So we got what was essentially another standalone episode. It's still
Yeah.
tied into the plot well because of the Peter Capek and all that, and Anna seeing everything at the end. So
Right.
it's tying things together. But that was good.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things about it is it brought up the whole incident that happened in the Turkish district.
Yes.
Episodes and episodes ago.
Oh, yeah.
Having it actually be something that really dramatically affects the overall plot, but also how the people, the actual people here, really care about Tenma, and that it wasn't
he did
just,
do some good. Like it wasn't just a one-time thing. It has rippling consequences.
Well, it wasn't just luck that he was saved because he was hit by a car. The car that hit him didn't care at all about him. They just drove off.
Right.
It was actually a guy who noticed that that's Tenma. That's the guy that saved so many people.
Right,
He was,
exactly.
if anything, he's kind of the quiet, unsung hero, or maybe
of this place.
Yeah, of the Turks in Frankfurt. Frankfurt?
Right.
Yes, Frankfurt. Okay.
What I thought they were going to do at first, before I remembered, different area, is I thought he was taken to the hospital with the young Japanese girl, and that she passed him up. But no, that's somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we now have
the backstory for Peter.
Yeah, Peter Capek.
Yeah.
Who, in a lot of ways, has been built up to be this. I would say
Shadow of Franz Bonaparte, or
this fan of Johann, basically someone who had directly experienced Johann's
influence
at different times of his life. Now, this is something that we can kind of assume at this point, but he might also be more directly responsible for a lot of Johann's growth and person beyond just the Red Rose Mansion. Now this is a little bit curious here, but if he was there taking Anna to see the Red Rose Mansion, something like that, and also maybe taking her back to Johann after whatever that drive was. Did he meet Johann young and when he was older? Because that seems to be what they're implying at that point.
And that's probably why he knew about Johann.
Right. And now he's been basically doing everything he can to try and, I would say, he's in a lot of ways
have a reunion.
Yes, he's doing something very similar to what the baby tried to set up as well. But he's basically the highest up in this whole
Right.
organization.
Yeah,
and the baby.
There's a
essentially
reason
answers to
why
him.
Johan would potentially, listen to this guy, even though it would not. He would not be controlling Johan in any way, but at least there's a point of connection there.
Now, here's something that's also good to bring up: is that he is a devil. He made those kids do those things and stuff like that. But I think what that is that's just showing that at that point he had already learned plenty from Johan.
Or from Franz Bonaparte.
Well, I'm going to say that in a lot of ways, Franz Bonaparte taught Johann, maybe even Anna, depending on how many times they might have been switching places in that whole thing there. But the thing is relatively clear that this is actually the part where things get confusing because timelines. Is that I think the time when he interacted with Milan at the cafe was him having met Johan. Now it might have been Franz Bonaparte.
I'm pretty sure that's not it. Here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. One, the whole experiment with Red Rose Mansion, probably around 10 to 15 years ago.
More than 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. More than 10 years ago.
More than
right?
10 years ago.
So probably somewhere in that ballpark. Because I doubt that they were younger than 5.
Yeah.
So that would put it right around that time because of how old he is now versus how he looked then. And at that point, given that the experiments were happening, it could be some aspect of, like, Johan might have been the star pupil, or Anna might have been the star pupil, or, both of them together. But Franz Bonaparte was the one leading all the experiments.
Yes.
He was the visionary that caused all the stuff to happen. He was probably the one that mainly made sure that this did happen.
Yes.
Right? I mean, maybe this guy had some really good insights onto how to influence the kids specifically.
I think if anything, he had more interest in the kids because he heard about what was going on. He's like, yeah, I want in on this. I want in on that. That sounds great. This is all happening on the east side, though. That's the part that has me thinking that it's actually... Here's the thing.
Okay.
So I was having trouble discerning timelines, right? But there's also east side, west side as well. When he went over to the west, he found someone that was like, wait a minute, there's some good things here. That's what he said at the cafe.
Okay.
The Red Rose Mansion stuff happened on the east side.
But Franz Bonaparte went all over with his different identities and everything.
Sure. Okay.
So it was probably because like he probably had to collect people from all over, so not just in East Germany, and then he did. Okay. And then the Red Rose Mansion thing and all that happened. Although that actually wouldn't have been in East Germany. That would have been in Munich, or yeah. Or wait, no. I've got this all mixed.
Because remember, there's Czechoslovakia,
right.
Prague, and all that.
Yeah, Prague. That's right.
Prague is east side, though.
Right. Yeah.
Remember.
Prague. Yeah.
That's where the Red Rose Mansion.
Right. That's where that
went
is.
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He met up with his buddy Milan after having met someone in the west side there.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that was where the experiments took place.
No. I'm saying that's how we know that it's probably Johan at that point.
No, because the timelines wouldn't match up.
Okay.
Because the thing is, we know that this is before Kinderheim, right?
Okay.
Right.
Sure.
So that means Johann is at the very oldest 10 years old, but probably more like 8.
Okay.
Right.
Sure. Yeah. You're right.
And I believe he said I met a man. He might have said I met someone, but
he didn't specify.
But I would say it would make way more sense for it to be Franz Bonaparte.
One of the things that is. Just makes me aware of, say, how inadequate a lot of my abilities are with regards to the show Monster is that they bring up plot points and stuff like that are from, in terms of timeline within the show, so long ago that you do have to, I would say, almost study a bit of the, just keep a flow chart going of all the things that have happened and stuff, because they don't give you exact details, at least from my perspective, on specific things in the timeline. You just have to gather it based on inferred.
Yeah, it feels kind of like
things,
kind of like Baccano in the sense that they'll jump around to different times,
right?
And then you have to basically say, okay, this is what we're focusing on, so all of this stuff pertains to this segment of the story, and the other stuff we can just forget about that for right now.
Yeah, I now everything is important in Monster because the show doesn't have fluff in it with regards to characters or plot. They'll just focus on one or the other at certain points. But other times they're like, no, this is hard plot stuff. Make sure you record this in your data banks. Now, the whole mystery of Franz Bonaparte has kind of gotten me, I would say, a little bit pointed like, oh, is this Franz Bonaparte? Which is kind of, I would say, a waste of energy, like you're saying. It's not important right now whether or not Franz Bonaparte is even alive at this point.
Right,
the main thing is that the experiments from the Red Rose Mansion are still ongoing.
Yeah.
Peter Capek has been the one continuing them. We saw that he went and did this in West Germany with kids. Was it West Germany?
That would have been in Prague. Because the location of where he met the person would have no bearing on where the experiments were taking place.
Right.
Because the experiments were taking place at the Red Rose Mansion. That we know for sure.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the additional stuff that he did.
Oh, for like the new disciple?
The new kids. The new kids.
Oh, sure, yeah. Okay.
Those are not Red Rose Mansion.
Right,
that's
right.
not a Red Rose Mansion book
That's a different
readings.
thing. Yeah,
it's a different thing. Yeah. I'm saying that was done when he came over to the West and became a teacher. That was what he said. He said he came over to the West, he became a teacher. He was a quiet guy, and then he started basically, teaching kids and stuff like that, and they all started to commit suicide and all that. So he was echoing the same things that he saw probably happen or helped have happen at the Red Rose Mansion, which was on the east side.
Right, and that was probably fairly shortly after because Milan... Was that his name? He helped him escape, basically.
Yes. So they both went across. That's the point. And then he ends up realizing that this guy
is bad news.
Well, he had his son. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
His son and stuff. And he's got to kill this guy. Well, and him being over here, him being on this side, he ended up taking over. He ended up going up to the top of the organization that was with the baby and all those other people and stuff like that. Their whole extreme, fascist kind of stuff they've got going on there.
Right.
So that's something that in some ways made me think that he was trained in the same way that created Johann. Like where did he get that? Where did he get those abilities?
From Franz Bonaparte.
Right. But the book readings at the Red Rose Mansion were things that they were doing primarily for kids and stuff, right?
Sure, but if he was helping Franz Bonaparte with the work, then and especially since he his giftings were in from the social standpoint, he potentially could have been the one doing the readings, and Franz Bonaparte was like actually writing the books, or maybe not, or they both did it at different times, or whatever, But he was helping in some way,
right? But now you see why I think that he's Franz Bonaparte, right? It's too easy to just say, well, why split them up? They're the same person. He's doing the whole thing
except
there.
for the fact that Anna has memories of both people individually, and they're different people.
When did we see her specifically identify someone as Franz Bonaparte?
A couple times. It was a little while ago, but he was the because Peter was the one in the car, right? That, and all that.
Yep.
And then
it was the one that came to see her and hand.
Right, exactly.
Or was he?
The hand thing they've done multiple times. But but Franz Bonaparte, young guy, more good looking, brown hair, no glasses.
Okay.
We've seen him before.
Okay, I believe you. I'm just saying
he's not someone that they show often, and I think the reason for that and why they're developing this Peter Capek guy as opposed to Franz Bonaparte is because they want to keep the mystery surrounding Franz Bonaparte, since he is essentially the father in a way of Johann, and they can't explain Johann, not really, right? Not in a direct or observational way. So instead, they do it by the indirect method of, okay, here's this other person who's in close proximity, and this is the effect that was had on them.
Right, but I don't get why then Capek has the abilities of Johan. We need to draw that connection there.
Well, the thing is, he has abilities similar to Johan because of the close proximity with the Red Rose Mansion and the fact that he was helping out there.
Right.
But clearly he doesn't have the same abilities as Johan, otherwise he wouldn't need Johan, you know.
No, obviously. But they're... To say that, like,
yeah, he was
saying
able,
similar. I'm not saying he's
to,
as strong, but it's the same thing.
But he was able to psychologically destabilize the kids. He was able to make a disciple and all that stuff. Right.
Yes, I think he made this other kid, the one that Johan was.
For sure. I think I think they basically came out and said that. Yeah.
And that kid is stronger, in my opinion, than what Capek was doing. He psychologically, without knowledge really of anything that Martin was doing, he nearly broke Martin like on the spot right there. And that kid is his basically Capek's means of getting to Johan.
Okay.
So his experiments were so good in the kids side of things that it worked and created this young guy with the big like awkward nose and stuff like that, who is the disciple fanboy of Johan.
He was the one that turned out the best out of all the kids that killed themselves and did all that stuff.
He wanted Johan 2.0, so he tried to do his best in creating that.
And he did a pretty good job.
Right. And the fact that he knows how to do that seems like something that would put him into a grander role at the Red Rose Mansion than even in some ways even in some ways that makes sense.
I would say it definitely makes sense for him to have been, say, the right-hand man. That was because of his area of study. He was directly, helping, Friends Bonaparte with the studies and everything. Like if there were all the 50, or however many people that were poisoned, maybe some of them were investors or something like that. Like he probably wasn't one of them, right? He was directly involved in the day-to-day workings of how they shaped these kids.
So do you think that he used Anna/Johan to then kill everyone at the Red Rose Mansion? Because I think he did then. Because it has to be that if he had enough there that he got what he needed and stuff, and he's not Franz Bonaparte, I think then it leads me to assume that he had a vested interest in getting what he could from this so that he could take this genius back to...
Right. Potentially, here's the reason why I don't want that to be the case.
Okay.
Because I like the idea that it was the agency of Johan or Anna, whichever one did it.
Either one, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty terrifying.
Either one could have different awesome reasonings behind it. And also, and the fact that basically he had to kind of start over makes it seem like it wouldn't have been him that instigated it. Because if he if he set it all up, right, I would think that he would be in a better place to do things. He wouldn't have to start over completely from scratch and take over the underground organizations and stuff.
But see, that starting over bit, we don't know his role at the Red Rose Mansion other than that he got the skills or had skills.
They're not telling us exactly like what his shifts were and what the title of his job was, but the fact that he had to basically escape and then he was just going, like Milan basically drove him, and that was probably whatever he had with him was probably all he had, right? And then he had to start over. That we do know.
But starting over implies that he started the Red Rose Mansion thing even in the slightest.
I'm just saying with wherever he was at, because the thing is, okay, Caleb, if he was the one who poisoned all the people, right, then that would basically mean that
he used Johan to do
but however it ended up happening,
right,
either it would be something that was done out of desperation where he thought he was going to be killed for some reason, right, and it was him or them, right, kind of a thing, right? It was either desperation, or more likely in that kind of situation it was because he thought he had won, right? He had everything that he needed, and now they were not useful anymore, and blah blah blah.
Right. Or he has an ideological difference with how they're going to use this, what they're doing.
Sure, but then why would he repeat it later, right?
Maybe he didn't repeat it. Like we don't know why the Red Rose Mansion.
No, but the continuation, we know that was him.
Right.
That was literally said this episode.
Yeah, but we don't know like what the goals of were the people that were starting the Red Rose, that were doing the Red Rose Mansion versus the difference of why they're doing this here.
The outcomes are the same. The process seems to be the same, probably. There's nothing to make us think that the goal would be anything other than to repeat the outcome, because that's what's been stated thus far.
Yeah, I'm still not following.
Okay, okay. Red Rose Mansion. Stuff was happening. He left. If he did poison them, then that would mean that he had won in some way. He had got the upper hand somehow, right? And it would seem weird, because the thing is him fleeing. What that seems more likely is that he was like, everyone got poisoned, and through some circumstances, however it happened, he survived. Maybe he figured out what was about to happen before it happened. Maybe he went to the bathroom and everyone else drank and, were poisoned and stuff. And then he comes back and everyone's dead and he's like, I need to go, right?
Or he knew that the place was about to fall.
Sure, yeah, however it was going to happen. But the thing is that if it was something that he instigated, then that would make sense that it would happen in a way that was beneficial to him.
Sure.
As opposed to something that he needs to escape from.
Right.
Now, maybe it's something where he played with fire and, and then he realized exactly what he was dealing with, and he realized just what Johan or Anna were capable of, and that's one of the reasons why he's trying to repeat the process later. Who knows? And that's why he had to escape. Could totally be a thing. But I don't think he would have, I don't see the motivation for why he would want to poison everyone else. And if there was something like that, then it doesn't seem to make sense that he would then have to escape.
Right. I think that Peter Capek getting this kind of development, as actually being so crucial and important is proof that they're actually going to, because here's the thing. Every time a character has been defeated in this story by Tenma or by any of the protagonists, like non-Johan, basically, we get an actual conversation with them learning why they did what they did.
Sure.
And right now, Capek, we know what his why was. We know that he's trying to court Johan. He's trying to play with the devil.
Sure.
He's trying to
and we got backstory
make a deal with the devil.
Yeah.
And we got backstory with that and stuff like that.
Yep.
But we also know, because of wonderfully well done storytelling with Anna, that he had his own role specifically in the Red Rose Mansion thing. And I want to know why he was doing that, and if and anyhow there is any correlation between that and what he currently is able to do in the plot. I want to know that relationship.
Okay.
And I think that at some point, if they're going to probably kill him, I mean, they probably have to stop this echelon of
and if it's
evil.
something that where Johan kills him or whatever, then it's fine. Although with this backstory, they could potentially defeat him with a conversation. Maybe.
Very possible.
But so you were going to say something.
That was it.
Just that he's going to be defeated at some point?
Well, he's going to be defeated at some point, and when he's defeated, we're going, or at least before that, either with Johan or someone else, we're going to get a conversation about why Red Rose Mansion, him, that trifecta, that relationship. I don't think it's being. It also ties perfectly well into Anna's whole thing there, because she needs answers, or she needs to communicate the answers she's found somehow to the audience, so that we have a capitulation of her arc as well. And I think him being tied into that, just it all just forms into this nice package. And I see the thing that is kind of the gaping hole for me is the Red Rose Mansion. Why was it there? Capek, what was your role specifically in that? Since, like you said, we're going, I would say, more into the mystery realm with Franz Bonaparte. We're not necessarily going to explain everything about him in general. Then Capek fills this nice substitute role of how they can do that.
And I think that that's what this episode was. I think they did that.
Yeah, I think they're going to do more.
Okay.
That's all.
Right.
That's all it is. Yeah. I think it's primarily because I'm maybe tracking less as well, not as well as you, with the past stuff in Monster and how it correlates
could definitely
into
be
this.
it. Yeah, because they the whole way that they've handled Franz Bonaparte, with how mysteriously and crazily he's been built up, and yet how little we've actually seen of him, but they're using Capek as the substitute, assuming again that he's not actually Franz Bonaparte,
assuming
that he isn't. But again, they didn't make it it could have been made more clear that he wasn't Franz Bonaparte, because the points that we have seen Franz Bonaparte were very few, and
they
before
could
that,
easily be interchanged as him being Peter Chapek, in my opinion.
Okay, I would say
the timelines doesn't match with the age of this.
No, not even the timelines, but just with the times that they've shown. The times that they've shown Franz Bonaparte,
right?
Like the 1 or 2 times that they shown him, and they said is Franz Bonaparte. He looked very different, but the thing is that with how they built him up, it doesn't match. It doesn't balance with basically the amount that we've actually seen of him. Given how mysterious they were handling his appearance.
I just remembered when they gave Franz Bonaparte's appearance. If anything, he kind of looked like Johann, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I can't believe it took me this long to remember that.
But that's the thing. It's like it's one of those things that does seem like an imbalance. So the fact that they're dealing with Peter Chapek so much is probably a way to maintain the mystery about the whole stuff of what happened.
Because Franz Bonaparte is probably dead in that regard.
Right, exactly. And it would be nice to have better clarity on that.
Well, that's why I think this is definitely not the end, with Peter Chapek giving more explanation about the Red Rose Mansion.
Sure.
Is that he is the substitute. He's now 100% the substitute in my mind. Just kind of remembering, oh yeah, that's what Franz Bonaparte looked like. That's who he was. He's definitely not Chapek. So that makes Chapek this perfect stand-in, living substitute as someone who's been on both the east side, the west side. He has taken the teachings, he probably even used the exact same storybooks, and brought them onto both sides. He is the last living piece of the Red Rose Mansion,
other than Anna
Johann, which means he has to die. Like he almost needs to die.
Than the one guy that Lung was talking to. Yeah.
Yes. In a ways, I would say those people have forgotten.
They're kind of gone. Yeah.
They have cast it aside. In some ways, they're free.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is also really sickening, because that means when all this is said and done, Johann won't be explained. It's not that Johann won't be explained. What I mean is that, because it's not that we want an explanation.
Right, yeah, because no explanation could possibly do it justice.
It's that his terror, his aspect came from something monstrous. It came not only from his own person, but the environment that propagated his monstrosity is not going to be...
We don't get to fully see the
We won't see that. We won't see that. If anything, we have to imagine it.
But we could potentially see some of that since Anna remembers everything, and when we eventually get that conversation with Anna, Johann, and Tenma, then that's where it could maybe happen.
Again...
But they'll probably not go into it as much as we would like.
Again, I still think that Anna's arc concludes less, not her arc as a character entirely, because I don't want her to die, but specifically with this whole aspect of her arc. Yes, Johann is the end goal of it, but actually everything to do with the Red Rose Mansion is perfectly packaged in Peter Chapek's character. So I think
as he gets resolved, the mansion might get thrown aside, kind of.
Yeah, almost entirely, because I think that them trying to court the devil in Johann is going to lead to their destruction, obviously. It's going, but that also means in a lot of ways that his role, Peter Chapek's role, will be almost non-existent. Not once Johann, of course, destroys him, because he'd be dead.
Yeah.
But that in some ways Anna needs to have one final conversation, one final interaction with Chapek before that happens, in order to properly conclude her character arc. Possibly. In my opinion.
Okay. One of the things I just realized is that since there's this whole development with Chapek, and it's so integrally tied into the Red Rose Mansion, and seemingly so kind of disconnected from Johann, that's a great way to basically conclude this arc of the Red Rose Mansion and all the stuff that has to deal with that, because there was the whole thing in Munich, right, with just everything that happened there, right, and that was concluded, and then they went on to something else, right?
Sure.
And I feel like this story can kind of be broken up into 3 acts if you were to look at it in a general sense. There's the Munich stuff. The whole show, kind of. Is that there's the Munich arc, which is the first super arc. There's everything before that, which is all the foundational stuff of the themes and the characters and all that.
But that doesn't get counted. That's all.
That's the first part basically. And then there's the Munich. I don't know what to call that, so I just call it.
So that's 2 parts as well.
Right. There's the Munich part, and then there's the pre-Munich part, which is the one part, and then there's...
So all that is one part?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
There's the Munich part, which is one part, and then there's everything before Munich that doesn't fit into one arc, really.
Gotcha.
But that's the one other part that's the first part.
And then everything after that is one big
And
thing.
then there's the Red Rose Mansion stuff, which is the third part, essentially, in the plot. But the thing is that because that was introduced later, they still have to tie it back to the stuff at the beginning, which is all the stuff with Johan, Anna, and Tenma that does not necessarily pertain to the Red Rose Mansion.
Sure.
So that's why Peter Capek is so crucial, because then they can resolve the Red Rose Mansion before they resolve the Tenma, Johan, Anna. Because I think by the time they go to that, like that ultimate conversation between the three of them, assuming something like that does happen, that they don't want to have to explain anything about the Red Rose Mansion. They want that to be over and done with.
No, that's why I think in a lot of ways I couldn't see this as 3 parts, really, because
it takes some stretching.
It takes a lot of stretching, especially since I don't think the Red Rose Mansion bit is one. Like you were saying, it's done here.
No. But like this is the setup to bring it to
an end. And and I'm saying that at the very least, I think that it's going to conclude rather soon because of how much they brought up with Capek and the fact that Anna and Tenma were finally in the same episode, even though they weren't actually. Even though they weren't actually in the same place, even though they kind of were in the same city. Oh, we're getting really close. Is that, like, I'd say in about 4 episodes, we're going to have a massive group of tons of characters all in the same place, like, actually, interacting and talking. And then we're still going to have, like, 5 episodes at least by the end of that of final Johan.
Right, exactly.
Everything there. And I am seeing a picture being drawn. That's why I think that Capek and his whole backstory stuff cannot be over, because Anna is so integrally tied to his backstory, and she has said, I understand everything. And then she's like, and then they end the episode because we as the audience don't know everything from her perspective and her memories. We have been teased a lot of it, and we're able to, I would say, understand a lot of it through inference and pattern matching. But I think they're going to get a lot more explicit with it. And
I would hope so.
Yes, and that is Capek stuff. That is a lot of that. I think will be Capek stuff.
Sure, but I hope most of it's still Johan and Tenma, because that's where Anna's arc lives.
Backstory. I'm not talking about Tenma. I'm talking about backstory, not like who's involved in talking about that.
But Anna did say, once she remembered, I know how to stop Johan and I know how to save Tenma.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't have too much to do with Capek, because as much as they've built up Capek and as much as he does need to be stopped, he's not the real monster of this story.
No, definitely not. He is an opportunistic monster who has goals, and I think he wants to bring Johan at least somewhat back into his good graces. Actually, that's a really good point.
What?
If he's trying to court Johan, right? Like he knows of Johan's existence, right? Then maybe he just showed up one day and they were all dead. Maybe that's why he realized, this was Johan. Like he was aware of Johan.
Oh, because he was like, Johan's the star pupil kind of a thing, and then,
or he was seeing that, yes. But then he comes to the Red Rose Mansion one day,
and it's just everyone's dead,
and they're all dead.
Sure.
And just he doesn't see Johan's body anywhere.
Sure. Although I think all of them were adults. I don't think any of them were kids. The people that got poisoned.
Again,
because it seemed to be at like a banquet thing where it's like, let us toast to our victories.
That's why I want more. That's why I want more final dots all tied together explanation about the Red Rose Mansion, what his role was, all that. And even if they're not going to give us that, I want at the very least before he dies, because he's definitely gonna die. If it's by Johan's hand or Anna's or Tenma's or
his own
babies, even whoever's his own hand, I want him to talk.
Gotcha.
We have seen so much of him not talking.
That is very true.
Like, it's actually one of the most frustrating things about a character who, unlike Johan, we have seen so much of Johan talking. Like, one of my favorite things is whenever Johan actually, like, opens his mouth and speaks. We have seen very little screen time of Johan just kind of in the background, like we have, but compared to Capek, with the times that Capek actually was speaking,
right, like proportionally, percentage-wise of their total character and everything, Capek's is way higher.
Right.
Yep.
So that's why I want that. But yeah,
totally get that.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yes.
I need to go back and make sure I'm actually all like caught up to date on a lot of things, because I think
the main thing was just forgetting about when they showed Franz Bonaparte, and that's totally understandable because it was like once or twice. So like,
and he wasn't even talking.
Right, exactly. It was just like a thing of they showed him and it's like Franz Bonaparte or something like that.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. There's a lot of things we didn't get to talk about, but hopefully you saw that in the discussion. I mean, in the reaction itself. But if you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or just hang out in general, talk about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.